Good Friday morning, everyone. Yes, I'm usually here on Tuesdays, but it is Friday. I am making up for the Facebook Live I could not do on Tuesday, and I've been missing you all, so I thought I would go ahead and do one today. And maybe we'll get some new folks who haven't been able to attend these because they can't do Tuesdays. Who knows? So, my name is Monica Corrado. I am a certified nutrition consultant, a certified GAPS practitioner, the GAPS chef. Yay! And I don't know what else to tell you. I am a teaching chef. I love to teach people how to be well through food. You all know that I teach for the Certified GAPS Coach Program and the Certified GAPS Practitioner Program. Both programs are going right now. And it is my great joy to be here on a weekly basis to talk with you about the GAPS diet, and to talk to you about how to cook for the GAPS diet, answer your questions, etc., etc. The sound is funny. Let's find out. Tara, let me know if it gets better, okay? I hope it gets better. Anyway, here we go. So, again, Monica Corrado, the GAPS chef. My website is simplybeingwell.com. My desire is to be, to accurately represent Dr. Natasha's teachings for you and to you, to answer your questions and to be available to you. I'm so happy to be here because it's been a crazy ride. As you all know, I had a power outage for more than 36 hours, so I had to cancel on Tuesday. I had to cancel or postpone my fabulous baking class with nuts and seeds, which will start on Wednesday, the 14th of June. If you're interested, jump on. It is all GAPS friendly, GAPS compliant. How do you ferment and work with nut and seed flour, etc. All right, so here we go. One more time with feeling. I'm not a medical doctor. Nothing I say has been approved by the FDA, and I claim nothing about healing. Okay, so hello, everyone. So happy to be here. Let's see. Hello, we have wonderful people. You're all wonderful people. We have Abida. I hope I said that right. Hello, Elin. Hello, Eva. Woohoo. Hello, Ianella. Oh, so good I'm here. I'm so glad to be here. Yes, so glad you're here too. Tara, good to have you. All right. Yasmin is here. Good. Okay. So, today I promised that I would talk a bit about flower remedies. And we'll start with that. And for anyone who's new, usually I will teach for about somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes, maybe longer, on a certain subject every week, and then I will take your questions about whatever. Hey, Tanya, good to have you. Yay, hello. Okay, so let me start from a very centered place here. Let me take a deep breath. Okay. I want to talk about flower remedies, and I want to talk about them because I love them. I love them. They are very powerful and very gentle. I like to call them gentle, powerful healers. Remedies, flower remedies. So I have used flower remedies both personally and in my practice for about 20 years now. And I used to teach classes on flower remedies to moms about how they could work with flower remedies for their children. And so I'm happy to bring some of that information here to you, to people on GAPS. So if you're not familiar with flower remedies, then this will be an introduction. If you are familiar, then I will, hi Yasmin, then I will, Sarah, I will maybe remind you of some things, but flower remedies work very much like homeopathics. I say they work like homeopathics. They are not homeopathics. for the most part. Most of them are not. And as you know, Dr. Natasha, or I hope you know, that Dr. Natasha is happy to have people work with homeopaths and homeopathics and to use those remedies to help ease symptoms, to help with transitions of the diet, to help with die-off, to help with histamine. I know there are many wonderful people in our group that have used homeopathics successfully. And I also know that there is at least one fabulous GAPS practitioner, certified GAPS practitioner in our group, who is also a homeopath. Her name is Lise Battaglia. She may or may not be on this little live today, but she's certainly on our page, and I encourage you to check out her website, recoverynaturally.com, if you're interested in homeopathics, which can be very, very helpful to anyone going through GAPS and for other life challenges like grief or transitions or eczema or histamine challenges or all sorts of other things. So just want to do a shout out to Lise and to anyone else who is in the group that is a homeopath. Okay, so let's talk about flowers. Let's talk about flower remedies. Again, flower remedies are like homeopathics. They are vibrational remedies. They have been around for a long time. There are many different families of flower remedies. The one, I like to call them families. Other people, I don't know what you call them, groups or whatever, but I like to call them families. So the family that is most well known, I think, at least in the U.S., is Bach flowers. Some people call it Batch. I say Bach because I'm from the U.S., but in the U.K., I believe they pronounce it Batch, B-A-C-H. So this is, I know this is probably backwards for you, and I'm sorry, but B-A-C-H, Bach flower therapy. Bach flowers are the ones that most people are familiar with. And the one that people are most familiar with is Rescue Remedy. Rescue Remedy is a combination of 5 flowers. It's also known as the 5-flower remedy. And it's the one that many practitioners, certainly my friend and colleague Becky Plotner, Dr. Becky Plotner, does work with and suggest Rescue Remedy for dealing with, I have a bunny that is now trapped in my window. Well, I will get him after we're done. Okay. Maybe I need some Rescue Remedy, and certainly that little critter does. So, Rescue Remedy is the 5-flower remedy, and it is used by many, many people, including, as I said, Dr. Becky Plotner, to help people deal with die-off. The 5-flower remedy has 5 different flowers in it, and the remedy has to do with the typical ways that humans respond to stress. And I can show you, I've already showed you this book, which is fabulous, Bach Flower Therapy, Theory and Practice. No pretty pictures in here, but it's really great to get a basic understanding. And then this is my other favorite book that I use all the time, which I've put into a 3-ring binder, and it is the Encyclopedia of Bach Flower Therapy. And so in here we have Rescue Remedy all the way in the back, and again it's called 5-flower remedy. So the 5 flowers that are in 5-flower remedy, or Rescue Remedy. All right, I'm getting to the back. Show it to you. All right. So they call this the first aid or emergency remedy. It works for everyone. This flower combination has a universal effect because it addresses a transcending archetypal reaction pattern of humankind. The pattern triggered through the synergistic interaction of 5 common negative behavior patterns that arise in response to stress. Okay, so the 5 flowers, and then I'm going to get off this, but I just want to tell you what's in it. The 5 flowers in this rescue remedy are Star of Bethlehem, which I have talked about before and I will talk about again now. Rock Rose, which is for extreme fear and panic and overreacting nerves. Impatience for impatience. Cherry Plum, which is about fear of losing control, as evidenced in tension or trembling. And Clematis. Clematis is for those who kind of just want to go lose themselves. Anyway, Rescue Remedy has 5 flowers in it. I've just told you what they are. But let's talk about how to work with these. So I'm assuming I'm going to do a couple of lives on this because there's a lot of information to convey. So Rescue Remedy is something that can be used for die-off and to help manage the response to die-off. How do you use it? Flower remedies are very, very gentle, as I said, and they may be used in a multitude of ways. One of the ways that you can use any of the flower remedies is to put 2 drops under the tongue. Drop, drop. That's an internal, obviously, they will take them internally. Or you can put 2 drops on the top of the head, crown. If you don't want to put it in your infant or child's body, that's fine. It is stabilized with brandy. So some of them are stabilized with glycerin, but glycerin isn't really a GAPS compliant thing. So you wouldn't want to take that internally anyway. So for children, you can put 2 drops on the top of their head, drop, drop. You can put 2 drops on their heart, drop, drop. I like to suggest that people make little spray bottles where you get a little spray bottle, a dark colored spray bottle, brown or blue, dark color. Fill it to the shoulder with distilled water and put 7 drops in there and then just spray for relief. You can definitely do that. What else? I love to suggest people put the flower remedies in their bathtub. So 2 drops, bing, bing, in the bath. So again, you can put it on the body. You can put it in the bath. You can put them in water. Someone has a water bottle. I often dose. I put them in my water bottle. I sip on it all day. You can do the same for your children and for yourself. So flower remedies do not smell like anything. They do not have a scent like essential oils do. They're just a vibrational remedy that help to clear emotions that then show up as a physical symptom in the body. So Rescue Remedy is a wonderful thing to work with. Again, sometimes it's called 5 flower remedy. Usually you can find Rescue Remedy at Whole Foods, at natural food markets, in co-ops. You certainly can find it online. And so you could do that. I keep looking over there to the baby bunny, who I have to rescue when we're done. Oh. Okay. So, again, you can go ahead and try some Rescue Remedy. What else could you do? I have often talked on this group about Star of Bethlehem. Star of Bethlehem is one of the flowers in Rescue Remedy, and it is specific to grief, shock, and trauma. It's called the comfort flower. So you can use that for any grief, shock, or trauma. All of us are experiencing grief, shock, and trauma these days, whether it's something that we saw on the television, whether it's something that we heard from a friend, whether it's something we experienced when we were driving the car or whatever. So Star of Bethlehem, whether it's a child that just was born through C-section or the mother who had to have C-section, which is major surgery, which no one talks about. So Star of Bethlehem is again, found in Rescue Remedy, but it's also something that you can use separately, and I often suggest that people do. So, Star of Bethlehem and Rescue Remedy. Those are two. The last one I'm going to talk about today is, hi Dana. The last one I'm going to talk about today is chicory, which is also a Bach flower, which has to do with mother issues. And mother issues can come up when we think about the inability to be nourished, the inability to take in food, the inability to be nourished on some level. And so again, chicory would be one of those flowers that you could use if you would like to try it. The good news about flower remedies is that they do not have any contraindications that I am aware of. You do not have to worry about things like not having mint or cinnamon or whatever, all those things. And again, they're very, very gentle. They're very, very forgiving. They will work with you if you want to work with them. So, under the tongue, on the body, you can do crown, you can do heart, you can do an area that you have pain in, also in the bath, and also in water. So that's just a quick little tiny thing about Bach flower therapy. I do work with people when they are my clients, and we do some specific testing with kinesiology about what might be best for you and your issues or your child's issues, etc. But I really encourage you, if you have any distress in your life, right? We all have distress in our lives, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's die-off, which is a physical reaction, etc. I would go ahead and encourage you to look into flower remedies. Again, they've been used for a long time, and they're very gentle, and they really can help. They really can help. All right, that's what I've got for today, and I'm happy to answer questions about it or questions about anything else. Let's see what we've got going on here. La, 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 la. Yasmin says, I can't do gaps without homeopathy for the kids. It's amazing. Dana says something else. Hi, Monica. What a lovely surprise to see you. I just happened to open Facebook, and there you are. I was wondering what you think of the remedy Aspen. I love Aspen. Aspen. Oh, yes. Aspen, again, another Bach flower remedy. They come in little bottles, and Aspen is for those. Let me say this is how I interpret it. You can go ahead and find the definition, but Aspen is for fear of the unknown. Some people call it free-floating anxiety. Like, I'm just frightened. I'm just anxious. I'm just nervous. I don't know why. And so people use Aspen for that. Often you can have a sense of the remedy when you either look at the flower or you look at the leaves, right? Aspen trees in Colorado shake. They tremble all the time. Aspen, right? And in this fabulous book, we've got Aspen, and I'm going to see what Aspen has to say. Yeah. To conscious sensitivity for vague, unknown fears. When you just are like, I'm just frightened. I don't know why. I'm anxious. Aspen is wonderful. I also like to use Aspen for people who are high vatas. That is an Ayurvedic term, but many people who come to GAPS are high vatas. That's what I find, V-A-T-A. That means they have too much air and space. They're like, they're spacey, or they're not grounded in their body. These are for children who walk on their toes, and they don't actually walk on their feet on the earth. They're for people who daydream. Aspen is for people who cannot focus. In some way, a lot of these are nuances, folks, but in general, Aspen can be very helpful for those types of folks. All right. Good. Tara asks, are you saying not to put it in the kids' mouths at all? No. You're welcome to put it in children's mouths. It's just that some people are more cautious and they don't know, they haven't worked with them before and they're frightened about giving them internally. You are welcome to put them in your children's mouths. I did it for a very, very long time. My child has survived. He's 17 and a half and doing great. No, but you can put it in the mouth. You can put it on the head. You can, again, in the body, topical, in the bath. All of these things work. In water, so they can sip on it and drink it through the day. There are nuances to all of these things, but I don't really want to get into them right now. Suffice it to say that if you put it under the tongue, it gets to every cell in the body, quote unquote, that some people train that way. And if you put it in water, then you're flushing things out. Just a thought. Okay. Let's see what else. Dana, thank you so much. I think Aspen is perfect. You know, the other thing is this, folks. Try it. If it doesn't work, try another one. That's what's so great about these. They're inexpensive. They're easy to use. If you get it wrong, there's no problem. Try something else. So the difference between Aspen and Mimulus, Aspen is for generalized fear and anxiety. You don't know why. You're just an anxious person, or you have free-floating anxiety, things like that. Mimulus is for a fear that you can name. Like, I'm afraid of going across the street. I'm afraid of dogs. I'm afraid of thunder. That's a Mimulus remedy. Okay. All right, let's see. So I'm going to go ahead now and take some questions. Someone else said something else. Okay. Elin wants to know about eggs. Hi, Elin. Which eggs are best to choose? Pasture-raised, non-organic feed, no soy. Pasture-raised, organic feed, organic soy. That's a tricky one, Elin, because my question really is, how pasture-raised are they? Because for the most part, all chickens that are pasture-raised are going to need a little bit of feed, for sure. So if they're really out on pasture a lot, I would say, is the non-organic food, is the non-organic feed non-GMO? That's what I want to know. Right? I don't know. I think, just given the way you described it, personally, I would do number 2, because God knows what's in that feed, unless you have a soy issue. If you are really sensitive to soy, then I would do number 1. I hope that was helpful. All right. Mara, hello. What remedy would you recommend for stubborn eczema for someone who's been on intro for 10 months? I would recommend that you get to a homeopath and start using homeopathics to clear eczema. I would also say that 10 months is not a long time for eczema to clear. And sometimes people will clear eczema and then have it come back with a vengeance 2, 3, 4, 6 months later, because we remember that the human body, healing happens in layers. So the skin is usually the last bastion. We heal from the inside out. And so the skin is also a major detoxification organ. So sometimes the skin is going to be the last thing that clears. And if you're really having issues with it, I would work with homeopathy. And then I would also make sure that you're using a lot of kaffir, topically and internally, for eczema to go. That's my best answer to that. But again, 10 months ain't no thing. Could be a year, 2 years, 3 years. Eczema sometimes takes a very, very long time to clear. I would be increasing fats a lot, like 4 tablespoons a day minimum for children, 8 tablespoons a day minimum for adults. Don't start there, but work your way up to there, yeah? And, Yeah, make sure you're getting a lot of animal fats. A lot of animal fats and a lot of kefir. And go ahead and get on a homeopathic to help clear that eczema. There are different types of eczema, and so there are different remedies for eczema in terms of homeopathy. That's all I know. I'm not a trained homeopath, but I do know that, I know enough to know that there are different remedies for eczema. Okay, Abida asks, I know it's off topic, but you once told in a Facebook Live about food planning to avoid spending time in the kitchen cooking all the time. That's right. You talked about making sauerkraut and other fermented foods once a year. Yeah. My question is how to store it. Get yourself, it's either in a, let me start in a different place. If you make sauerkraut in the big, huge, in the big crocks, it's going to take 6 months anyway. If you make your ferments in jars, then you are going to want to either store them in a root cellar, store them in a cold basement, store them in a cold garage. Get yourself another refrigerator. That's what Sally Fallon does. She has a big, huge refrigerator in her home. At least she did before she moved to the farm. And you just store all your ferments in a large refrigerator. Yes. We recently started full gaps, and I ferment sauerkraut for 1 to 2 weeks and then put it in the fridge. That's fine. Can it stay outside too? You can ferment sauerkraut for longer, 6 months, long time, on the counter, as long as you have allowed for enough space between the kraut and the lid, right? So that it doesn't go bubbling all over your counter, etc. I can't have so many jars in the fridge if I make it for you. That's the way we do it, Abida. We get another refrigerator, and that's where we store our ferments. Or if we have a wine cellar or a root cellar, somewhere where it's 50 degrees or lower, it's a good place to store your ferments. Yes. Hope that's helpful. Hey, Roseanne. Okay, hey Eva. Okay, when it comes to buying Bach flour, what should we be watching at in terms of quality? Eva, there is only one manufacturer of Bach flour remedies, and it says Bach flour remedy right on it, so you're good. There are many other flour remedy families, which I have not gone into in this call or on this live. One of them is from Green Hope Farm. Fantastic in New Hampshire. They have thousands. There's Australian Bush remedies. There are Floralive remedies. There are so many types, families. But in terms of Bach flour remedies, as long as it says Bach flour on it, that would be great. That would be fine and correct. Trying to think. Someone else. So the Flour Essence Society, FES, also makes flour remedies that are... they cover the same ones as Bach, but they make them with, I believe, with biodynamic flours, but I'm not sure. But as long as you look for Bach, B-A-C-H, flour remedy, you should be good to go. Okay. Roseanne, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing better now that I'm on live with all of you all fine people. Okay. Can acne on the forehead be a sign of die-off? Yes. I started to increase my homemade milk kefir. Yes. Everything. Yes. Absolutely. Remember, skin... You detox through the skin. So yes, absolutely, yes, acne on the forehead can be a sign of die-off. Remember that you don't want to be using soap on your face. You don't want to be using cleansers on your face. If you like to make sure that your pH is correct, you can use a little bit of apple cider vinegar that is diluted, at least half and half, maybe a third, 2/3 apple cider vinegar to cleanse the face and make sure the pH is correct, and use things like tallow, duck fat, ghee, coconut oil, or a combination of them on your beautiful skin. Yes. How do I cook, eat tongue and heart from pig best on stage 2? So tongue and heart from any mammal or any poultry, we don't have chicken tongues, that would be hysterical. You just cook them in meat stock. Yep. You cook them in meat stock. That's a great way to do it. You can also cook them as a casserole or a stew on stage 2. Everyone remembering that stage 2, thanks for the laugh, stage 2 is meat stock, soups made from meat stock, stews made from meat stock, and casseroles made from meat stock. By the way, working on my meat stock masterclass this weekend. Hopefully it'll be up before the end of June. That's the goal. So you can learn all about how to make meat stock all different ways. But that's the best way to do it. Cook it in meat stock. That's the best way. Okay. I went away a few months ago and have come back. What if I eat too much fat and it worsens? And also I have a dairy sensitivity. I'm sensitive to a lot of meats except chicken. I eat lots of ghee and a little butter mostly. Right away. Just start slowly, Umara. Just start slowly. Always, everyone, find a place to start, find one thing, and start slowly integrating it into your diet. And when that feels good to you, then add another thing, and then you're doing both of those things in your diet, right? Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Dairy sensitivity, no problem. I would suggest the dairy introduction protocol, also known as the dairy introduction structure, starting with ghee, and then butter, and then cultured yogurt and cultured cream that's cultured with yogurt culture. Slow and steady. Roseanne wants to know, what would you do to address heavy metal detox and parasites? I'm looking for the bunny. So I just taught with Dr. Natasha twice in the last week, which was so great. I always learn something. The first thing she says is be on the diet for a year before you start doing anything to address heavy metal detox and parasites. The majority of people need to be on the diet for a year before you even look at it, because often the diet will help heal, will help bring your microbes to balance. And it'll also help to bring heavy metals out of the body. So remembering that parasites and yeast are in your body to protect you from heavy metals in your brain. So when your body is ready to release them, it will. So wait a year, and then you can start thinking about things like herbal anti-parasitics if you want to, or just incorporating a lot of pumpkin seed milk into your diet around the full moon for at least 3 months. Yes. Okay. And also, everyone is frankly, you're all, I just heard from Dr. Natasha, she likes zeolite. Zeolite for heavy metals. That's something you can start with right away. It's just to take zeolite. I will post my favorite one. It is the cleanest. It's from Touchstone Essentials. I think you can find it on Tom Cowley's website. Dr. Tom Cowley. Okay, let's see what else. You're welcome, Roseanne. You're welcome, Umara. Tara asks, with Bach Remedies, I am not sure, but I think this is new. They started a kids line, and I think this is just glycerin instead of alcohol. They are heavily advertising it. Yes, Tara, that is correct. They have started using glycerin for kids. This is totally new. Meaning, regular Bach flower remedies with brandy have been used for children for at least 100 years. So I think it's a marketing thing. Or it also may be for people who just, either for religious reasons or otherwise cannot have alcohol in the house, I suppose. Maybe it's those folks that they are marketing to. Glycerin is not actually good for the stomach. It's not good for the body. However, a little tiny bit of glycerin may not be problematic. It won't be problematic if you put it on the crown or on the heart or in the bath. I don't think glycerin is a good thing to be ingesting, but that's the word according to Monica. And the GAPS diet, by the way. All right, let me go up here. Abida says that, okay. Recently got a second freezer for all the meat and bones. Guess I'll be getting a second fridge for fermented foods. Yes, go for it. That is the way. Okay, Ionella says, my 5-year-old kid had many fears and anxiety. Social anxiety, anxiety of losing control. I am new to flower remedies, but it seems that it might help him. So which flower may be good remedies for this? So again, that's wonderful to know. Remedies are great for children. I can't tell you how they really have an affinity for children. Many fears and things. I might work with Rescue Remedy to start because it has rock rose in it. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm going to look one more time. I just want to make sure. I mean, I would start with Rescue Remedy and see how he does. And if he has a lot more anxiety and it's not working, then I would go ahead and, let's see, yeah, Aspen is not in there. I would add Aspen. You can combine them. You can't over-medicate. They don't contraindicate. I mean, you can't get it wrong. That's why I love them so much. You may want to start with Rescue Remedy and Aspen. And when I work with people, I suggest that they do them at least in the morning and at night, twice a day for 3 months. Start there. And then let's see if there's something specific that the remedies are not addressing. There may be other ones that need to be added. Hope that's helpful. Okay, let's see. Elin wants to know, hey, Joanna. Woo-woo, good to have you, lady. Okay, Elin says, should you always soak pork meat and organs? Yes, you should. Well, should you always? Well, there was a live blood analysis done on pork. You can find it at the westonaprice.org website if you want to see the live blood analysis. Apparently, humans' blood does not do well when we eat pork that has not been somehow soaked or fermented or something. So I like to use raw milk. Raw milk is what I soak pork meat and organs in. I also soak in whey. If I have an abundance of whey, I also soak in, you can soak in yogurt that is water with a little bit of yogurt in it. If you don't have a lot of whey or a lot of raw milk, that's fine. I would go that way. In terms of apple cider vinegar, probably it's okay. I know Sally Fallon likes to use, twice I've mentioned her, I should give her a ring. She likes to use lime in water, lime juice in water, because pork and lime have such an affinity for each other in terms of flavors. So that's what I would do. How much ACV? I would just add a little bit of apple cider vinegar or a little bit of lemon juice or a little bit of lime juice, meaning a tablespoon to maybe 2 or 3 cups, and then soak it for overnight is a good thing to do. Yes. All right, glad to see you back. Yeah, me too. Glad to be back, let me tell you. I'm late, but looking forward to listening later. Good. I left out all of my frozen liver out accidentally, and it became nearly room temperature, cool, not cold. Is there any way to salvage it? Cook it! How about you make it into a lot of pate and freeze half of it and have some in the refrigerator? That's what I would do. That's right? So make some liver and onions for dinner, and then make some pate, lots of it, and then freeze the pate. You can freeze pate, no problem whatsoever. Yep. You're welcome, Ionella. Okay. Nina says, just to say, I've used Touchstone Essential Zeolite for a few months, not ingested, but sprayed on my feet, and my daughter and husband kept getting unexplained headaches. Detox! They went away after we stopped using it. So, was so sad it didn't work for us. Have any idea why it happened? Totally understand if you're not coming. No, it's fine. It's a fine question. Here's the deal, folks. For me, when I work with people and in my own life, I always suggest that you start with less than they ever tell you to do. So, I know that Touchstone Essentials, Pure Body Extra is the one I'm talking about because that's the smallest one at the cellular level. They also have another one for digestive tract. I would, hello little bunny, I will get you out of there, I promise. Okay, they say 4 pumps 3 times a day. I would start with 2 pumps once a day and work my way up. 2 pumps once a day for a week or 2, then 4 pumps once a day for a week or 2, then add in a second, right? I never go to exactly what they're saying. I just don't. I think it's a bad idea. I've had too many people come to GAPS and say, oh, GAPS doesn't work. Probiotics made me sick. Well, that's because you took too much at one time, or you started too fast, or, right, slow and steady. Slow and steady. Little bit, slow and steady. That's how we do it. So, anyway, and about spraying the feet, I'm not really sure about that either. I mean, it is... I would get to them too. What do they say about spraying on feet? Yeah, I would be using it internally, and I would also be using it in a very little bit, at a time. I'm sorry, did you just say that you should be soaking pork, like all pork, or were you talking about the organs? Hi, Tara. Yes, pork itself is really much better for humans if it is soaked before it is cooked. That's not bacon. It's also not salami, or prosciutto, or gabagool, or any of those things. It is a pork roast, or, that kind of thing. You want to soak it first before you cook it, and you can look that up on westonAprice.org. Okay, good. Any more questions from anyone? I might want to go upstairs and tell my husband that there's a bunny. So hold on 1 second, and I will be right back, okay? Just a little vanishing act. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Dan. Okay, I'm back. I'm coming in. All right, everybody, I'm back. Sorry, I wanted to see if we could try to get this bunny out of the window well. Sooner than later. Hello, bunny. Sweet little bunny. It needs some rescue remedy. All right, what else have we got today? Anything about the flowers? Anything about how to use them? Anything about food? Anything about cooking? What do we got for questions? Anyone? And if we don't have anyone, then I will go ahead and close early. Any questions on the page that I haven't answered that you have, etc.? Looking at the sweet little tiny bunny. Okay. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close early. Again, if you are interested in learning about flower remedies, Bach flower, you're welcome, Tara. Bach Flower Remedies, I suggest that you get these 2 books, or just get one. Get this one, which is called Bach Flower Therapy Theory and Practice. Last name is Scheffer, Scheffer. And this one, the Encyclopedia of Bach Flower Therapy, this one has beautiful photos of the flowers. Of course I didn't open to a photo of them. Oh, look. Okay. Right. So that's a great one to work with children. Yes. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Dana. You're welcome, Yasmin. Okay, Eva wants to know, is your course in baking on your web? Yes. Is it? Oh, I don't even know, Eva. Oh, my God. You know, life has been so crazy and busy with my parents, you know, and working on their house and putting it on the market and blah, 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 that I don't even think it's on my website. But it is on, I have put it on our group, Ask the GAPS Chef, and I have put it on, I think, my personal page, but I will put it on my website, and I'll post it today. Sorry for my total brain. Obviously, I don't have a clue of what I'm doing here these days. All right, Roseanne asked, I made yogurt and it's separated. Is it okay to consume? Roseanne, what do you think? Write it in the comments. Why would yogurt separate? Number 1. And would it be okay to consume? Someone give me some answer to that if you want to. Elin says, I feel like I'm losing more hair than usual. Could it have something to do with the diet? Yes, absolutely. It can have something to do with the diet because remember that you can be detoxing out your hair, out your scalp, and lose hair, and then your hair will grow back, and it'll grow back healthy. A lot of people lose hair on gaps. It's not just thyroid. Often it's yeast. Yeast can make you lose hair. So, as you detoxify and you come to balance, you can lose your hair and then it'll grow back as your scalp becomes healthier and your microbial balance on your scalp is better. One of the things you may wish to do is to massage your scalp with olive oil once a week or twice a week at nighttime. Put a towel on the pillow. Or you can massage kefir into your scalp also. Adam says, hi, Adam, or Adam. Yogurt over fermented, still safe to eat. Excellent. Well done. Yes, if your yogurt splits or your kefir splits, that just means you have over fermented. Over fermentation means that you either fermented too long or fermented with too much of a starter or fermented at too high a temperature, or maybe a combination of all those things. And it's certainly still safe to eat, yes. You can stir it all in, or you can strain the way out, whichever you prefer. Yes, there you go. Excellent. Excellent. I do not have that question. The only thing that helps constipation is coconut oil and olive oil juicing. However, they all I don't have that question showing up. Umara, I don't see the question. Can you drink kefir that's been fermenting for 4 days? Yeah, of course. As long as you can tolerate it, it's not too sour for you. Absolutely. Poor little bunny. All right, you guys. Yes, you can. All right, I'm going to close anyway because I have to rescue this bunny. And I can't stand looking at it being so upset. Yeah, and I don't want it to hurt itself. All right, be well. Take care of you. I'll see you on Tuesday. And let me know if you have any questions on the page. Okay, be well, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye.